Assalamualaikum guys, what's up, how you doing? It's your boy RF927 back on another video. So ni aku akan main game. Main game, what the heck? It's hari Selasa. Hari Selasa is for reaction video. Let's go. Hari ni kita ada video untuk korang. Aku akan react kepada the top 10 weirdest sport in the world.
Sports in the world. So you've probably heard of tennis, basketball or football, which is soccer to you Americans.
Yeah.
But you've probably not come across any of these sports, each one weirder than the last. And no, I'm not yanking your chain. These sports are real.
What?
Number 1, STVHAKIM. Probably the least weird.
Kepala otak. Weirdest. Sepak takraw. Sepak takraw. Kepala otak dia sepak takraw. That is a traditional thing. What?
STVHAKIM is sometimes referred to as kick volleyball. It's essentially volleyball, but you're only allowed to use your feet and head to hit the ball onto your opponent's floor. It's very popular in Southeast Asia, and there's a ton of unbelievable plays in this game. And by the way, if you want to find out more about it, I actually made a video about STVHAKIM right here. Number 2,
What?
shin kicking. Oh yeah, that's a sport, believe it or not. If you're from the south of England, you've probably seen this before. But the idea of the game is to kick your opponent in the shin repeatedly to try and get them onto the ground. Before the game starts, you have to stuff your trousers full of straw, wear a lab coat for some reason, and then proceed to grapple your opponent and kick the crap out of him. I'm not sure what the referee does, but he's this guy here who's holding a big stick, and also wearing a lab coat. Number 3, caber tossing.
What?
Whilst the English are kicking each other in the shins, the Scottish are throwing around bits of tree. Caber tossing is one of the original Scottish Highland games, and believe it or not, the object of the sport is not to throw the log the furthest. These logs, or cabers, are 19 feet 6 inches long and weigh 175 pounds.
Why?
And the idea is to toss the caber onto its end and for it to land on the 12 o'clock position. This is rarely done perfectly, and judges are on hand to make a decision if there's a close tie. Caber tossing is a true test of strength and explosive power, unlike that. Number 4, Quidditch. Unless you've been under a rock for the last 20 years, you've probably heard of Harry Potter and the fictional sport they play known as Quidditch. Unfortunately, some bright spark decided that they would actually play the game and introduce it to all the American colleges and universities. So now, every Saturday you'll see grown men and women run around a field with a broom between their legs.
What?
I'm not joking. And no folks, I really won't be making a video about the rules of Quidditch anytime soon. Number 5, wife carrying. Our friends in Finland are responsible for this.
It sounds so weird. It sounds so goddamn weird. Wife carrying. Weh, aku nak angkat aku punya isteri. Kalau benda ni ada kat Malaysia aku jana.
Yes, as you probably guessed by the title, you have to carry your wife over an obstacle course in the fastest possible time. The only real requirement is that the wife must weigh at least 49 kilos and that the course is exactly 253.5 meters long. The winner usually wins his wife's weight in beer. So guys, pick up your wife. Pick up somebody else's wife, I don't care. There's beer to be won. Number 6, chess boxing. It's exactly as it sounds. Chess, the board game, mixed with boxing, the combat sport. Players alternate a round of boxing with a round of speed chess. The idea is to punch your opponent to death so that he can't think straight at the chessboard, or confuse him with chess tactics so that they're not concentrating on the boxing. You win this sport either by a knockout or by checkmate, whichever comes first. Number 7, dog surfing. Normal surfing is passé. It's old hat. I know, why don't we put dogs on surfboards instead? Yes, over in California, they've decided that it's a good idea to stick their pets on surfboards and make them suffer Poseidon's wrath. The winner is whichever dog is adjudged to ride the longest wave with the most degree of certainty. Although most of these dogs don't seem very certain at all. Number 8, unicycle football. American football is hard enough, but there are some people who think that it's just too easy. So those are the ones that decide to play football on unicycles. It's pretty much the same game as American football. You can tackle, pass or cycle with the ball, and the scoring is pretty much the same. But I can imagine the injuries from clashing unicycles being horrendous. Football not your thing? How about unicycle hockey or unicycle polo? Basically, any team sport you can think of on a unicycle. Number 9. Blind soccer.
Oh, aku dah tengok ni.
You think that by playing soccer requires you to be able to see
This is
the ball.
fun. This is
But
so
obviously,
fun.
nobody told these guys. Players are either naturally blind or blindfolded, and a bell is inserted into the soccer ball. They obviously can't see the ball, so they have to listen for the bell inside the soccer ball, and players have to constantly communicate so that they don't run into each other.
What?
Yeah,
That's so
dead easy,
good.
right? Number 10. Cardboard tube duel.
Wait a second. Tapi kalau untuk orang buta macam ni, diorang kena pakai tak? Aku rasa diorang tak payah pakai tau.
I'm seriously not making this up. Cardboard tube dueling is as the name implies. It's fighting with cardboard tubes. Players must hit each other and break their opponent's cardboard tube without breaking their own. If time expires, a referee will measure both tubes, and the tube that has bent the least wins the duel. There's no stabbing or lunging, no hitting to the face, and cardboard armour and shields are optional. There's even a pro league dedicated to cardboard tube combatants.
What?
Okay. Honourable mention goes to the Indonesian sport of fireball. It's pretty much like
aku
regular
dah tahu
football,
dah ni.
except that you set the ball
Orang-orang
on fire before you start playing. Sounds like great fun. Got any other obscure or weird sport to share with the world? Like the video, follow me on Twitter.
Shut up. Korang tahu tak? Bagi aku, sport apa yang paling teruk dalam video tu ialah wife carrying. Apa benda siut? Contohlah korang tengah training dalam rumah. Anak kau tengok macam, kau dah kenapa? Ha, kau dah kenapa? Kau dah kenapa? Okay dah. Okay guys, I think that's it for today. Assalamualaikum. Stay safe. Jangan lupa beli baju dekat Vic Thrift My. Tak ada dot. Okay, that's it for today. Assalamualaikum and goodbye.
Sure.